Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. 7:30 after the longest federal election campaign in modern Canadian history. Yes, the day has finally arrived. It is voting day. Polling stations are open from coast to coast and are bracing for high turnout. Greg Harper joins us now with more. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Well, the polling stations opened at 7 o'clock this morning. We are here at one of them, the Creekside Community Centre in Vancouver, and it's been very busy here already this morning. The lineup started at 6:30 and it continues here behind me. You can see also in the other direction, there's lots of Elections Canada workers here that were here early setting up, and they are now busy letting voters cast their ballots. And if the advance voting is any indication, this could be a very high turnout for this year's federal election. Already, 3.6 million Canadians have voted. Eligible voters must cast their ballots at the polling station associated with your address. That is on your voter information card that you received in the mail. If you did not receive that, or if you lost that, you can still vote today. You'll have to register at a polling station. You can register too online on the Elections Canada website, which was actually down earlier this morning, but it is now back up and running. You can fill out a certification there, print it, and then fill that out at the polling station. That will speed things up. As far as voter ID goes, a driver's license is best if you have that. If you don't, a government issued ID is good, or you need two pieces of ID like your birth certificate and a bank statement. That would work as well. Here's what some voters are saying here this morning.
It basically comes down to families. So I have a young family, and I'm going to be voting on that.
I have a definite choice in mind, and I'm going to follow through with that.
You can still register at any poll, so you simply need to bring the authorized ID with you, and you can register on site if that's the case, that you're worried that you maybe haven't been registered. You can also check. You can call 1-800-463-6868 to confirm, but it's very easy to register here on site.
Also important to note today, you can take 3 hours out of work to vote. Legally, you do have that right, but it's up to your employer to decide what those hours are. I'm trying to think of something else to point out. Oh yeah, something else that it may be a scenario for voters today, many voters. If you do show up to your polling station and it's very close to 7 o'clock and you do see a massive line, as long as you're in that line, doesn't matter how long it is, by 7 o'clock, you can cast your ballot today. Jody?
So ballpark, Greg, there at the Creekside Community Centre, how many people are in line 30 minutes in?
Oh, right now, easily maybe 30. Many more inside, and like I mentioned off the top, Jody, the lineup started here at 6:30, so very busy here, that's for sure.
All right, everybody getting out to rock the vote. Great information. Thanks so much. We'll check back with you at the top of the hour. Greg Harper reporting live from Creekside Community Centre this morning. For the very first time, Vancouver's Union Gospel Mission is going to be hosting a polling station in this federal election. Homeless people and people who live in the downtown east side are able to cast a ballot. Staff are on hand to make sure that everyone has the proper documentation to vote.
For people without a fixed address, we can actually write a letter to Elections Canada specifying that they're staying with us, they're in one of our rooms or they're in one of our shelters, so that they have that identification, that secondary identification with ID that they'll need to cast a ballot.
The UGM had a similar setup during our provincial election in 2013. The organization estimates it helped about 200 people vote that day. Campaigning has also come to an end for our federal party leaders, all four voting today in their home ridings, and we'll await tonight's results, of course. Stephen Harper is in Calgary, Tom Mulcair and Justin Trudeau both in Montreal, and Elizabeth May will watch the results come in downtown Victoria. They already have to wear helmets and obey the rules of the road, but should cyclists also be licensed? That could soon be a reality if one Vancouver City Councillor has her way. The NPA's Melissa DeGenova says there needs to be a plan for all bikes using our roadways. She says a license could improve safety conditions. DeGenova is calling for some sort of educational training similar to that of a driver's license.
My motion is not too prescriptive because what I'm hoping is that city staff will come back and report back to Mayor and Council and tell us if this is something that's feasible. Is this something that's possible? And what would that structure look like? Would there be a cost associated with this? Would there be some type of test one would have to take to prove that they knew the rules of the road? As you see many people running the stop sign right here.